Yo, what's up? It's your boy NYC. Welcome to my movie review of American Psycho. This is gonna be my first day, my first video of making a movie review of countless movies I'm gonna do in the future. I'm doing American Psycho because this is the craziest movie I've seen in my almost 20 years of living. I saw this movie back in January of this year, and it is very, very weird, very revolutionary. It is still a movie that is talked about since it came out into the year 2000, and I do think that it's definitely gotten more popular in terms of popularity over the past few months. Countless memes, countless videos, edits for Patrick Bateman. But for the actual fundamental core of the movie, I think it is a really crazy and very weird film. But in terms of weird, I mean in a good type of weird. And I like how I believe there's a novel from this, and that makes a lot of sense because this story does seem like it's constructed from novel form and then someone made it into a movie. But in terms of the people who worked on the movie, people who were in it, Mary Herron, the director, and then got that amazing cast. You got Christian Bale, you have Willem Dafoe, you have Jared Leto, you have Reese Witherspoon, and again you have Christian Bale. So that's easily the instant reason to watch the movie. But here's one thing: it is rated R, but I would definitely not recommend this movie to anyone. I believe I was trying to watch this movie on a December trip with family, and I'm glad that I kept forgetting, because if we saw it and we're in a living room and we have a scene where they're legit shooting a porno scene, and then we have an adult like parent walk by, it wouldn't have ended well. So it wouldn't have been good at all. So I'm very glad I waited until I came back from this trip. It's just me. I'm watching this movie on TV with my headphones. If we hear anything weird, it's just gonna be me. So good thing that I did not say, hey, let's watch this movie, because that wouldn't have ended that well. This movie definitely requires you to have a bit of an open mind. If you wanted to go see this movie just to get entertained, you'll get entertained, but you kind of do have to think a little bit, especially with how the ending is, especially with how the format is, in terms of questions, in terms of mysteries, theories, and again, how the movie is. It's kind of like a different type of point of view. The main character narrates, he does things. Some of these things he does, you may think that they didn't happen, they did, or some other thing, but this movie got a sequel, probably shouldn't have gotten that sequel. I say that because this is one of those movies that really makes more sense to be its own collective thing without having anything else. Hopefully this movie doesn't ever get a remake, because in my opinion, it definitely does not need one. I would definitely say that it is very crazy still. Like, everything in this movie just always has you hooked. One thing I love about it is the acting. Christian Bale's acting, Willem Dafoe's acting, Jared Leto. Everyone in this movie acts in such a great way, with how Patrick Bateman is he's so calm, but he's so funny in such a quirky way, if I want to say. It's very, very cool, very Sigma, I guess people say nowadays. And I do like how every character has their own role, whether Willem Dafoe's character is trying to investigate all this crazy stuff that Patrick Bateman is doing. Jared Leto's freaking just getting himself killed by just messing with Patrick Bateman, calling him a name with a dork in front of his face, and then Patrick's like, you're funny. And then you have the freaking axe scene, you have the freaking music, you have this man freaking murdering people, and then he's freaking goes into like a panic attack, and then he has a girlfriend too, but then he leaves her to go return some videotapes. It's crazy, but I do love the acting. I love the core. I love movies like this, which is just its own collective thing. It's not trying to be anything else, just its own qualified, in a good way, story. I love stuff like this. And my favorite scene is easily the axe scene where Patrick Bateman kills Paul Allen. That's the character he kills with an axe. The acting, the fundamentals, just how everything is presented, the music that's just blasting in the background. I do love how everything is filmed. So glad Christian Bale took the job. I'm so glad that this movie's talked about 23 years later. I'm very glad this is the one movie I was always like, I need to go see this. I saw it on HBO Max. I'm glad I finally did that. And I would also say that this movie definitely has, for some people, you could be like, oh, it has multiple endings. Did he kill this person? Did he kill Paul Allen? Did he not kill Paul Allen? Did he do all this other stuff? All these other crimes he committed? Was he completely like innocent? You know, it leaves you questioning. I think this is what they call open-ended movies, where it has an open ending, where it's not just one singular thing, where you're over here wondering what happened with this and this and that. But I like movies like this. I definitely think I would not recommend it again, and if I do, I will hopefully be recommending it to someone who can handle something like this, because again, they shoot porn in this scene, and it's very graphic. I believe there's also a chainsaw involved, but yeah, this movie's crazy. I would give this movie, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10, because usually with me and how I do ratings, even though something for me, like for example in this movie, has no problem, I'm gonna give it a 9 because of an extent. Because it's crazy, but I feel like 9 is fitting. A 9 is definitely fitting. And again, this movie is crazy, but in a good way. This movie is crazy, but in a good way. This movie definitely does not hold anything back, and I love how raw it is. I love how unhinged it is. I love how, you know, just this character of Patrick Bateman just doesn't like anyone. You know, he has a quarrel with everyone. That seems really cool for his. It's definitely a psychological thriller, crime, horror, dark thriller. I love movies like this. Again, my score for this movie is a 9 out of 10. Would I recommend it? No, because porn is shot in this movie and there's blood everywhere, you know? So, that's that for this movie. Crazy movie. Anyway guys, that's been my first movie review for the channel. Thank you so much for getting me to 100 subscribers. I'm definitely going to do more of these. But for now, it's been your boy NYC. Take care and peace.